grown man smile.
You can do your dance, you can take a space. I'm not mad at you, I'm just choosing grace, 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 grace. Choosing grace, grace, grace. Protect my peace. Choosing grace, grace, grace. Still shining like a star. Choosing grace. To the moon and back, I'm proud of who I am. Glad I came up to the surface, said it like a man. No reason to sit in own self-pity. My vision got wise and my spirit got witted and glow. Running around me, coming by surprise at the look in the mirror and believe my own eyes. I'm not hiding now, I'm not playing small. With love to the room, I can answer the call. I move with style, so I let the rhythm take control. Don't need to fight, don't need to prove. I bless the room and change the mood. I changed the channel and found my light. Let go of strife, reclaim my rights. Bruno by my side, love in my home, peace in my spirit. I'm never alone. I'm walking forward, I'm breathing free. The glow around me looks good on me. Direct from above, that connection is clear. I don't chase the noise when the blessing is near. Let the chant ride, let the bass ride, let the horns hit, let the soul glide, let the strings pull, let the drums snap, let the light fall. Right where I'm at. Boom, boom, ba ba bam, boom, ba 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 bam, boom, ba ba bam. Oh, boom, ba ba bam, boom, ba ba bam, boom, ba ba bam. I arrive in style, I arrive with grace, I arrive with joy all over my face. I arrive with love, I arrive with pride, I arrive with peace, moving side to side. Let the chant rise, let the bass ride, let the room glow from the inside. I arrive in style, I arrive in light. Big Billy in the building and the spirit feels right. Boom, 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 ba ba bam. Snap like a Tamar. Boom, ba ba bam. Still shining like a star. Boom, ba ba bam. Protect my peace. Boom, ba ba bam. With a grown man smile. Choosing grace, choosing grace. I'm not mad, I'm choosing grace. Boom, 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 ba ba bam. Still got joy, still got love. Boom, 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 ba ba bam, boom, ba bam. Direct connection from above. I arrive in style. Ba ba bam. I arrive in light. Ba bam. I protect my peace and my spirit feels right. Boom, ba ba bam. Boom, ba 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 bam. Boom, ba ba bam.
Hey everyone, my name is William Rochelle and you can call me Bill. Welcome to UBU Live. It is 4 p.m. on the East Coast, which means it is 1 p.m. on Pacific time. I just want to say a couple of things. I'm very grateful that everyone is here tonight. We already have 89 people that are on across all channels. That is amazing. I'm already always shocked to see that people really enjoy what we're bringing to the table. I do have to say that I would like everyone out there right now to, yeah, I love YouTube too, Felipe. The only problem I have with YouTube is I watch it on my television and then I can't comment. I have to go to my phone to comment. But yeah, it's so much easier. You can walk around the house. I want to say this. I am doing a Williams wind down Sunday nights at 10, Monday nights at 10, right after Jackie Hallberg's show, and then Wednesdays. So I'd love to see all of you guys there tonight. I would also like everyone out there to like, subscribe, and make sure that you are involved with this channel and comment. Let me know where you are, what you want to hear about, who you are, because we have two phenomenal guests tonight. The last thing is, or a couple of other things. The song that you guys just heard was called I Arrive. And that is a manifestation video for me. Hopefully you guys felt something in it. And it's interesting because Melanie, I was talking to her on Monday while I was writing it. And if you missed it, the beginning of the show says, Jackie, Melanie, Leslie, and Sean, because I had attended all of their shows. And all of them had touched me in some type of way on Monday morning. So they were mentioned in the beginning, but it's so fast you probably didn't listen to it. So you might want to go back to listen to that beginning. But I Arrive is talking about how I want to show up for myself um, in life. I arrive with style. I arrive with grace. I arrive with joy all over my face. That is how I'm living right now. Second, Leslie Flowers does a great job at putting out a beautiful carousel every week and lets everyone know where to go. I don't want to compete with anybody out there. I want to be able to enjoy your shows just as much as you can enjoy mine. So I want to say this with a full heart. Right now, there is another autism awareness show going on with Noni. And for me, it's important that we extend the grace to each. So Noni Refno, or someone put her name in here. She's actually having one at this very moment. And so I, with grace, would like to say, jump between, jump between both shows because the message is what we want to get out. It's not about who you know the longest or who you prefer or my great music or my great style. It's about learning about how we can support each other. Noni Baroni. So she's doing her show right now with mine. So I'm going to catch it on replay. And I just suggest that we all look at Leslie's product that she produces every week to make sure that we understand where those gaps are. And with that, I would be too. Every time I do something, I look to see where I'm at. And Jack, you might remember this, but there was one show that I did where I had to rush because I had planned it. Then I looked and realized Stanley Green was coming on. And so I went through it so quick so that I wouldn't interrupt his show. And I finished on time. So with that said, what did I say? 10 p.m. tonight, Williams Wind Down. It will be great. Join me every Sunday at 4, Thursdays at 1. Like, subscribe, and tell me where you're at. And ladies and gentlemen, let's do ladies first. Ladies first. Ladies first. Miss Phoebe Mack. And where is she? There she is. Hello, Phoebe. My girl.
Hey, everybody. I'm happy to see you guys, and I'm always happy to be here with Bill. Tell me.
Thank you. I think you're doing wonderful things. Wonderful things.
Thank you.
And if you guys haven't seen her show, she does like I do on Wednesday. She's a pop-up girl. So she just shows up places and you never know where she's going to show up, from a Black-owned popcorn shop to a faux furrier that does artistic design. I was like, what is this? And it was like wearing, like some of the pieces are really, really, really nice. Some of the ones you tried on, and some of them were just like art pieces where like, I'm like, was it heavy? Like there was one that looked like a rug. Was it heavy?
It was heavy. It was made like a rug. It put me in a manner like if you was on the what's the show? The Dragons Winter is Coming. Like it was like it was really like I just felt like one of the queens in winter was coming. So it was wonderful.
Game of Thrones.
Yeah, Game of Thrones. I couldn't think of that. That was a popular hit show, but it was. Every time I meet a person, I go into their establishment, what they're creating, what they're bringing. If you pay attention to my show, you're going to notice that I'm always making sure that we learn something and we get some good advice to utilize to help us thrive in our lives.
And I talked about the Black-owned popcorn shop, but you just go to everything. I mean, you're everywhere. And so.
And the slogan is, you never know what we'll be talking about or what we'll be doing, right?
Where did you find this guy at?
So it's all about connection, and people, like, my show is growing, my brand is growing there. I do a couple of different things, but Spontaneous, hosted by Phoebe Mack, is my love, and it's by word of mouth. That's what's been happening. So I've been doing like manifesting, and I want to bring people with good energy, good vibes, that's doing something in life that serves people, and they can share for people that's like-minded, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I want to say this, there's two sides, one truth. So the centerpiece of this conversation is that Gregory lives with autism
Hmm.
on a daily basis, and he's amazing. And Phoebe is the mother of a child with autism. So we're going to bring Gregory up now. You good with that, Phoebe?
Yes, please.
Okay. Let's see what Dr. Gregory has going on. He's just switched his hat, and ladies and gentlemen, there is Gregory Liverpool.
Hey, Gregory.
Everyone,
I like the
Mr.
W. It's like if, for winning.
It's for Wisconsin
Yes.
cheese.
No,
Like,
nope. That is not for the people who are in the United States of America. That W is not for the University of Wisconsin at Madison Badgers or the University of Washington Seattle Huskies. That is the W for the CFL team in my city, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
Hmm.
12-time CFL Grey Cup. That is our version of the NFL version of the Super Bowl champions of the league. And we just hosted a Grey Cup this past November, which had the teams of our hated rivals, the Saskatchewan Roughriders, taking on the Montreal Alouettes. So it was basically the best of both worlds in a negative fashion, because Saskatchewan's our hated rival, and Montreal was the team that basically eliminated us from the CFL playoffs in
so
the Eastern
let me stop you for a
in the
second.
Eastern semifinal. So yeah,
Let me ask you a question. So we all know, everybody knows that you're a Dallas man.
yeah.
And so we're not even going to go
And
there today.
I'm not going to go there because we have Felipe in the audience. He might get irate of all
He's not
the
going to get
cowboy
irate.
talk.
He
So
loves
yeah,
you.
yeah.
But what I want to know is, what does football, not the Dallas Cowboys, but what does football actually mean to you? Not the
Football,
stats.
I will say, yeah, football is the quintessential ultimate team game. It basically is a team sport that basically transpired different races and creeds and social economic status, that everybody is molded together as a team to achieve the ultimate goal, which is basically winning championships per se. So that's how I figured it, and that's how I basically look at it. And I will say that that's why if you tune into somebody in the audience show last Friday, Laura Sherman, shout out to the belle of everything on the queen of Friday afternoon programming, her show and stuff. And that's why I bring up, in regards to how recruiting should be, it should be something such as every single professional draft imaginable, which includes the just past NFL draft, that you have a baseline, but you basically mold that baseline individual or talent into something more prestige per se. And that's how people with, I will say, people who are neurodiverse and people who are on the spectrum should be molded in that type of, in terms of being recruited and selected, rather than basically a putting a round peg into a square hole. It's not going to work.
So let me ask you a question. Let me
Yeah,
ask you a
sure.
question. So
Yeah,
first off, I'm going to ask you a question. I'm going to let you think about
Sure.
it, and then I'm going to say
Sure.
something to Phoebe.
Sure.
So do you think football has given you something that's hard to find in other places? Think about that for a second. What is wrong with you? Why do you keep coming back?
I don't know what's happening. I'm trying to. I told you I'm still working this, but please Please work with me. Patience. We got to have some patience. So,
So
you said something. He said something that I wanted to respond to. I was just waiting till you guys finish when he
Go ahead.
talked about like putting someone like in a box, right? So this is a situation I'm dealing with my son's IEP in his school in the school. Nasir has some very high highs and he has some things that he needs to work on, and they're trying to say he's either this or that, but you can't do that. You cannot limit someone's, I don't care if they live with autism or not, or have ADHD,
For
bipolar,
example,
and you can't put people in a box.
for example, guess who? For the people in the audience, this is a trivia question for people who are following the NFL draft. Guess
Okay.
who was drafted 3rd overall, first round in this year's NFL draft? Guess who was drafted at that time?
Are you giving people some times and moments
Yeah,
before they answer?
I'm going to give you some time for that. Guess who was drafted 3rd overall in this year's NFL draft?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
So
One, Jeremiah Love, the running back from one of 4 college football teams I follow, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. He basically was voted as the nation's top running back in the nation. That if you watched ESPN during the season on College Game Day, basically, he is on the spectrum. He was drafted 3rd overall to the Arizona Cardinals. That's my mic drop moment in regards. Yeah, Phoebe is probably gonna have an aneurysm because of the sports talk. Sorry.
you mean Jackie? You mean Jackie?
Jackie. I mean Jackie. Sorry, Jackie. It's this, and I will say, when that story came out during the last college football season, a lot of people were moved, touched. That's what someone who is on the spectrum can do, and that's one of the reasons why I like every single professional league draft, because they basically draft on the value of the human and the potential of that human rather than putting people in a box.
Exactly. And then we have some questions. Questions. How did your understanding of autism change over time? How can friends better support families with autism? So I can answer both of those questions.
Can I answer the first one?
Yes. I'm sorry.
How did my understanding of autism change over time?
Go for it.
So I didn't really understand it and all the different levels of the spectrum. I did my first autism show in January, and it was with you and Greg.
Mm-hmm.
And then we opened up National Autism Day. It was supposed to be you and Greg, but you couldn't get, you were out and about and you couldn't make it. So it was just Greg and I.
And Joel.
And
Joel was on there. I think
no.
That was the first one in January.
Yeah, that was in January.
Yeah. Okay,
I'm talking about this month. You and I did the breaking news, and we brought in Autism Awareness.
Yeah.
And then we're closing it out.
Yeah.
And I can say since January, Gregory has just shown me so much that I didn't know. As far as being a friend.
Because the information is, because all the information is basically quote unquote fake news, missing a whole whack of information, and basically is stigmatized to in the words of the Brick Talk. Shout out to Mac and Joel, to the gills, basically. So yeah.
But you also do something else, and I can't explain it. but you're like a cheerleader. Like you'll ask me, "Are you doing your show tonight? Are you doing the 10 o'clock tonight?" And that gives me life. I know it sounds silly, but it's like when you are like, "Are you going to do it?" It makes me want to do it. It makes me feel like there's someone out
Plus,
there
plus
that
that's
cares.
that's my sign of that's a sign of saying, hey, right now I'm bored. I need some. I need some. I need something to get my boredom out of me, basically. So that's
There you
why hence
go.
that's why I basically do. I'm probably breaking my internal fourth wall. That's why I love to have like a live stream event going on right at that juncture,
Mhm.
plus something, plus an add-on that I could basically, go in and out and stuff, because that's
How
how
you do
my
it?
brain rolls and stuff. Because some people says, how can you do a lot? That's why it says people, for example, when Aaron Gibson had his show, I was basically doing three different things: listening to live audio event, did two loads of laundry, and basically, uh,
And kept us
and
all in the loop,
yeah,
Phoebe. He
yeah.
kept us all in
So
the loop.
yeah,
Yeah,
so I
so
could,
that's, I
yeah.
mean, which mean is a skill he have, which is called multitasking. And along with all of that, like the SEL training, he knows how to manage himself when he's feeling a certain way. So for those out there who don't know what SEL is, it's social emotional learning. And for me answering that question, I understood it as an educator when when I used to teach elementary, fourth and fifth grade, and it was always different for per student. If they were living with autism or had ADHD or living with autism, I found that this student needed something different than the other student, just like general education students. Everyone's needs should be met, right? So over time, I learned, well, maybe this student that lives with autism doesn't have a problem with sound, but this one has a problem with visual. So I knew how to adjust them. So over time, I learned that I need to pay attention and ask them what are their needs. They can tell you, even if they're nonverbal, they can tell you. So it's just the spectrum is broad, but it's all about you and how you can be open to listening and learning.
I am going to let you guys feed the question because there's tons of people that are talking in here. Um, Phoebe?
And I wanted to talk about that second question I brought up, which was how can friends help us spread the word, spread awareness?
be
Please,
be an ally. Seriously,
please be an
yeah,
ally. Please be
yeah.
an ally. So, for example, it has been trending some videos of some children and adults in stores or in the home going off and snapping out, right? And us as the audience, we only see certain visuals or certain snippets. But there was one particular video where it was a young man that was living with autism. Something triggered him, and he was running around on top of the store things and trash and things and this and that. That's when awareness and education comes in, because you will be able to learn how to handle that student when they were triggered, or person, I'm just going to say just a student, a person who was triggered by something in an environment that everybody should be welcome in. And awareness will help you help us. You may see that and something triggered. Maybe it was the sound. Maybe it was a color. Maybe it was a word, right? So if you notice those things, you'll be able to help and not be so offended, because it's really not about you. It's about how can we assist, and like you said, be an ally. Be
And
an
for
ally.
people, as well as for people like me,
Hmm.
people like sorry to be picking on Felipe, but we all know what's his role on these mean streets of LinkedIn. Here, he's the HR poobah all personnel. If you see if you see any type of stigmatization in the HR process
Hmm.
that is against people who are on the spectrum, as well as on the spectrum, on, on, as an autistic type of person, call it out,
Speak up.
and basically speak up and make sure that it goes above, that it goes up the food chain per se, because there is a study, and I just basically I was just about to read it, but my one of my iPads just basically went into sleep mode. But it is basically a major in terms of the ATS system that
Okay.
is basically in a nutshell, virtually not giving disability credentials the higher weight that it should be, that it should be going on in recruiting per se. Like I will say it's the person who wrote it 2 days ago by the name of Eva Redford, EVA REDFORD for the people in the audience.
Can
It
you
is
explain what
titled
the ATS system is so people in the audience can understand
ATS.
that as well?
Yeah, ATS is the automated tracking system here.
Mhm.
And the person basically titled, and it has a graphic saying neurodivergent candidates aren't failing hiring. The hiring is failing them. And in her research, and I'll quote it from the article here. If I could move it, come on. If I could move it, it says interview automated tracking system. Okay. In 2024, the University of Washington in Seattle, the Huskies Nation, found out that GPT-4, that's something that William Rochelle could probably understand, constantly ranked resumes lower when they include disability-related credentials such as Autism Leadership Awards, ranking the enhancement resume first in its only 1/4 of 60 trials. When asked to explain the rankings, the system attributed to lower scores to things like less emphasis in leadership roles, directly contradicting the credentials on that particular page. Furthermore, an increasingly automated layer extends beyond resumes. AI-powered video interview platforms introducing tools by hundreds of major employers have faced automated criticism and regulatory scrutiny for disadvantaged candidates with atypical speaking patterns, facial effects, and processing pace, traits common to autistic and ADHD candidates. One of the major removal of facial expression analysts features following the public outcry its discriminating potential. The ACLU has filed complaints specifically citing AI hiring assessment tools for discriminating based on disability, including autism. Think about it. That's basically Mobley versus Workday in a nutshell.
Now, let's even talk about this part, right? That system, okay, first of all, humans had to make it, so it's doing what the humans say. When you fill out an application, they actually ask, do you have a disability? First, they put the law there, but then they ask you about the disability. So it's basically still to be utilized to wean, to discriminate against people. Because if I answer this truthfully, and I tell you what I'm dealing with, although I have everything you're asking for, but if I answer this part truly, you at the opportunity to use your AI or technology platform to wean people out still, right?
Yep.
Regarding their demographics. And
Yep.
It's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Oh, okay, Felipe just basically put the rebuttal here, so I'll probably rile him up, basically like Cowboys versus Commanders. Just joking, Felipe. That example is specific to Chat GPT-4 versus applicant tracking systems. GPT-4 is not a part of ATSs. There's work that needs to be done. It's humans made to not forget.
Exactly. And so this is what I usually say. You know how say for example, this happened to me a couple of times, right? You have a presentation, you take your technology with you, and then all of a sudden your technology start acting up. Have that ever happened to you guys?
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
I always say this, right? And it just kind of ice break the room. Like, well, yeah, our technology always messed up when we're in front of company. But one thing we got to remember, man-made technology, so technology isn't perfect.
Right. Right. So I'm going to go do a deep dive on the Workday scenario. I have a paid partnership with ADP, and I'm having an ADP rep come in and talk about their PEO system, as well as how their applicant tracking system differs from Workday. I've also worked with Trinet's application tracking system, um, and Greenhouse. So I've used them before.
Greenhouse is okay, is all right. How the cool kids will say that I like theirs one very, very good. Seriously.
Right. So the issue is this. So Workday has brought to light that, and this is what I want to say to Felipe, that their system wasn't even allowing the applications to go through to the human in human resources. So they were blocking 1.1 billion applicants. That,
Wow.
yeah, and you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. It made me feel so much better about myself
Mhm.
because people were saying, "Why aren't you getting a job? Why aren't you trying?" And I'm like, I'm putting out thousands of applications, and within minutes, I get like a rejection note, and they found a better candidate. And I'm like, how is there a better candidate? Not to be egotistic, but you
Mhm.
know, I'm so qualified for these jobs, and two of them, and I'm going to stop with this because I've told this story before, but two times I was so qualified that I called the HR recruiter and said, listen, you've reposted this job and I've applied for it. I'm a great fit. It was Newegg and American Welding Society. The guy from Newegg said, send me your resume. I sent it to him. He said, this is not in our system. He said, the sad part about it is you are a stellar candidate. You would have been perfect, but we've already hired for it. American Welding Society said, you're not in our system. I sent them my resume. They said, it's still not in the system. Can you redo it? And I'll just double check for it. So I redid it. They called me in the next day for an interview. Now, I didn't get the job, but and I didn't connect the dots that they were both using Workday until all this came up. I was just thinking, wow, recruiters are not on their game. So there is proof. There is a situation out there that is discriminating. And with the Workday platform, it was not the hiring managers that were doing the suppression. It was the system itself.
Mhm.
I can't hear you, Phoebe.
Mute.
I'm sorry. Let me ask you this. Considering, because I did see in the chat someone saying that work needs to be done. So basically, whatever if you have this system and you're the one controlling the template of what it's asking for and weaning out. So obviously, those 100K plus resumes are just being kicked out automatically because whatever you put into this tracking system or intake system, you're automatically weaning people out right there.
Right, right, absolutely. So when again, I do have a partnership with ADP, so I'm going to start there. But I put qualifying questions in there before, with every job rec, but I never said automatically rejected. However, so I would look at everything because sometimes, it is, as Felipe said, it's technology. Technology can miss something that a human won't. I can look at transferable skills and say, okay, this is great and this isn't. I'm not sure. And we'll talk to ADP when they come, but I'm not sure whether or not they've encountered this problem. Workday's response was this: we recognize that we have rejected people, but we should not be sued because they were not employees. Applicants are not employees. And so the ruling that they got was applicants are potential employees, therefore you are liable.
Mm-hmm. And that's going to basically be if that happens here in the United States, imagine what will happen north of the border, because that would mean
You're not in the United States.
I know, but as a person who has an international lens on this particular type of issue, if this happen, if the Mobley Workday thing happens, that Mobley is liable, all blank is going to come loose globally, including Canadian companies, including companies in overseas, everywhere. And I will say this, and I will say, in the words of Paul Heyman, who is a WWE manager, WrestleMania last weekend, this is not a prediction, it's a spoiler. This story, if it pans out how it is going, will melt LinkedIn platform big time. I could guarantee
why LinkedIn specifically? I think you're doing a broad stroke there.
I will say it's a, in my view, it's a major business story that will basically which will have major implications in terms of the trust and the integrity in the hiring and recruiting selection process. And it's going to basically put a lot of it's going to put the candidate experience in a number one position in all HR related type of matters and standards and practice and principles for everybody, regardless if you're on the spectrum, you're neurodiverse, or you're a normal human being. It's going to become one of those big news stories that will literally people will wondering what type of where do we go from here type of thing.
You know,
yeah.
And it actually also reminded me of like a you know how they have these case files and like litigations against certain companies. This I just thought about it because now it made me think about future wise for Nasir. Like Nasir is my son, everyone who lives with autism. He's a wonderful kid. And how is it going to be for him if Workday and other platforms like that does not improve or make those changes? Because those changes can be made overnight, just like they made what they did. They can change it and improve it overnight. I'm quite sure they have a whole tech team that does this, right?
Yep.
So I'm just putting that out there. Make these changes overnight tonight if you're listening.
So I want to ask this question about you guys. So we have a lot of ground to cover, and I am 100% into this HR discussion. Should we table it for when I get the guys in that actually know the data? And so we could concentrate on something on the questions that are coming in for you two.
And yes, and congratulations, Christy D. Like just giving someone an opportunity and a chance, right? You never know what it can do for your company, your business, and your customers, whatever position you're in. So congratulations, Miss Christy D.
I'm going to talk about her tonight on my wind down because she gave me life. She gave me life on Friday.
Yay!
Like I don't want to talk about it now because it's not the spot. But some people inspire you just by being present, and she did that for me. So, Melanie has a question for both of you guys, and I am going to drop off and let you guys own the show.
Nonverbal.
Okay, as an educator and mom, there's a couple of things that I notice
Mm.
that helps. Um, so one, while how can we help while traveling? Let me look at this again so I can make sure. How can we help nonverbal or young individuals in crowded or outdoor spaces and while traveling? My son, he loves YouTube. By the way, this is going to be on his little channel as well. He
Mhm.
likes the headphones. It helps him to stay focused when he's in too much of a crowd or something like that. Well, maybe he's listening to his kind of music or that. The nonverbal, you have the in the classroom, teachers will have like a set of verbal cue cards where the students can have a set and you can have a set, and you can have questions for them, just basic questions that can lead to more in-depth questioning or answers, and you would be the one as the adult or the person who's in care for this student to say, hey, for example, how are you doing? Maybe it's in words, maybe it's in a picture so they can see it visually, and then they can answer with the basic answer: I'm okay, I'm hungry, I'm thirsty, too loud, need help, hold my hand, don't touch me, things like that. That helps them when they're in a crowd and also when traveling. Also, take something of their favorites with them that gives them comfort. A lot of times it's because of the sensory issue. So if it's too much of a loud noise, maybe the touch will help them kind of soothe that part. Take something that's their favorite with them that can help them as well. And so it's those frequent check-ins while you're traveling or in a crowded place. Maybe you're like at a carnival or something. That'll help them out. Ask them what they like. What would you like to do? What is interesting to you here? And then they can zoom in and focus on that. And that'll help you while you're supporting that child.
Well, in regard to that part of the question, I am not young. If you think 43 years of age is young, I'll take it as a compliment.
Yes.
But in regards to the traveling situation, I will say that this is kind of like my quote unquote weakness per se, personally, because I am not a good person traveling solo. So I would probably need, I will say, the assistance of Jackie Hallberg in regards to traveling solo, because that's one of my weaknesses. I do not like to travel alone because you never know what will happen, and one of the things that I basically try to overcome it is, I will say, I basically shop my traveling itinerary with some friends to see if we're on the same plane, same bus, or going to the same place overall. And I will say that I am somewhat successful. I think I'm batting over 500. Sorry with the sports talk, Jackie. Sorry about that. In regards to finding people who I know who are on the same plane as me, per se. So yeah. So that's how I oh, it's relative, Gregory. To me, you're a baby. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Leslie. Thank you, Leslie. Thank you. So, yeah, so, oh, thank you. Jackie says, I would totally travel with you and help you out, my friend. Oh, thank you very much. That would be an adventure for Instagram, for your Instagram channels. Thank you very much on that. So, yeah, so that's like one of my uh kind of difficulties as me being on the spectrum du jour in regards to that type of nature. So yeah.
And
So
and then just adding to that, Gregory, I appreciate that you know which one of your skills that you're working on that you need a little strengthening with, and you ask for that assistance. How wonderful is that? So when I was given that tip about like the card, you 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 train the little kids so that they can know, oh, I can ask a question or I can tell how I feel, whether they're verbal or not. They can say, I'm happy or I'm sad or I want, using those cue cards. But when they're a little bit younger, it's you to constantly be frequent and consistent, and you're asking so that they can know, oh, I can say something. I can ask a question. Here, look, I'm hungry.
Mhm.
So, or I need rest, or I need the restroom, things like that, so that they can have that social emotional learning, and they can kind of control the stemming if they because sometimes, right, the stemming comes like with my son when he, even though he's verbal, he still can get where he's a little bit nonverbal. And I'll say, use your words, and those words can be on a cue card. It doesn't
What
have
does
to be
stimming mean?
verbal. Okay, stimming is like a stimulation. That's what we call it in the autism world. It can be tapping a pencil, flapping your hands, a continuous sound. So, for example, my son will go, and guess what I do? I ask him, how are you feeling? What's happening here? Are you happy? Are you sad? Or is it too much? And he'll tell me, he'll explain, and then he'll focus on what he needs. And then he'll ask me if he needs something from me, because it could be just something he wants.
For
So
me, it's this with a pen, and I will say sometimes I bite my nails or that type of stuff. That could be probably that's are two examples of stimming per
stemming.
se. So yeah.
And then Gregory, everybody has that, not just people that live with autism. So once again,
Mhm.
awareness, awareness,
Yeah.
awareness. Because you'd be
Mhm.
surprised. We're all human, and we all have something in common with a stranger. No matter who you meet on the street, you're gonna have at least one thing in common with them. And the first thing is we're breathing the same air. So let's
Um,
just be respectful of others, right? And I'm always just putting that out there, especially as a
Amen.
mom,
yeah. Uh,
especially as a mom with a child that lives with autism.
for
I'm
for
real.
the question right here, what
Okay.
can schools do support? I will say one thing the schools should not be doing is basically putting people who are on the spectrum on a corrective action plan.
Hmm.
That should
What
never,
is that?
in a
So
nutshell,
I
in
yeah.
a nutshell, I will say if I get any type of trouble in the school, it's basically a don't pass go, don't collect $200 straight in monopoly terms straight to the principal's office with a phone call placed to my parents. Parents is basically coming to the office, and we're having a meeting with the principal or vice principal, my parents, and myself. And that is basically installed in the corrective action plan type of processes, which can basically humiliate a person who is on the spectrum and basically don't feel like themselves in a school setting. And
So
I have been
answer this for me.
I've been on that from I was on that from kindergarten to grade 11.
Wow.
So
So this is how they
what
were handling every situation with you on a daily basis. So now oh no, because it's like, first of all, people, as a parent, I'd be irritated by that. Me personally, as a parent, because
Mhm.
first of all, what if I'm at work? What if I'm busy? What if I'm ill? What if my husband can't? You should not be calling a parent every single time for everything you think that need to be corrected. No, that's no. Because if a student has an IEP plan and you know that student needs, and if you're really aware and you're paying attention, there are ways that you can make sure that you align the child to focus without calling the parent or going to with all those steps and then waiting for a parent to come, which means you a lot of time was wasted outside of the classroom.
yeah.
That's what it sounds like to me, right? That's what it sounds like to me. And that's me looking at it as an educator and as a parent.
So you are coming from both directions.
I wear a lot of hats. I wear a lot of hats.
So
So
here's a question about corrective action. So what type of things were you doing that would get you into the principal's office? And at what point did your parents recognize that you were on the spectrum? Did they coincide or?
I'll take the second question first. They knew there's something wrong with me when I was in school.
There's nothing wrong with you, Gregory.
I know. Sorry. The traits was basically traced back into school. As me, I did not want to go through the testing because I was in my teenage rebellion stage, thinking there's nothing wrong with me, blah 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 blah. Then there was some type of testing when I was in middle school, so we're looking at grade 7, 8, or 9, and I had a special teacher with me around that time in Bonnycastle. No, in grade 5 and 6 when I was at Bonnycastle per se. So long story short, I will say it was during that time. But the thing is, I was got my diagnosis officially by a psychologist when I completed one of 2 certificate courses from Red River College. And I was around the ages of 25, 26. So, and that psychologist could say that it could be traced as far as birth. So that basically, I had to relearn stuff on the fly for the last 17, 18 years. And that's how we are where we are today.
And congratulations.
Yeah. So thank you. So in terms of that, and I kind of forgot what was the first question you asked, Bill? What was the first one?
What type of actions would get you sent to the principal's office?
We're talking fights will be one of them. 2, breaking a glass window, which was not my fault, and my parents had to replace it because I was basically provoked by a lot of people in the school. Those are the 2 big. Those were the 2 big ones. I will say. Those are the 2 big ones. I will say the two small ones could be academic, could be somewhat not adhering academically, which could basically get me a one-way ticket to the principal's office, that type of thing, all that type of stuff. So it's absolutely, I will say, that's why I will say to that person who raised that question, do not install a corrective action plan on a particular person who is neurodiverse or on the spectrum, because that is basically a 100% power move by you. So
Dr.
I wanted to add there too, like it sounds like some of your experiences where you taken up for yourself because no one was aware. It took you till you got into your 20s to get a diagnosis, which I'm going to blame the education system first. And I know your parents were trying to do things in early intervention, but I'm going to blame the education system that you were in, because that is someone on the spectrum. Now that I'm so aware, and everybody, I think today with technology, we are aware, we just ignore or push it to the back. So you missed out on a lot of your early interventions because of people not ignoring. They were not taking steps to say, how can I help this child? Did they ever ask, why were you fighting? I'm quite sure you said, because these people did X, Y, Z. I'm quite sure of it. Because they don't understand that I need to tap my pencil. So I would do strategies in the classroom like, Okay, the pen or the pencil was too loud, I would get them the eraser so it can kind of cover the tap tap tap,
Yeah,
because you need to do that. Oh,
I
it,
was constantly bullied. Seriously.
I can see
Yeah.
that. I can see that, and I understand because I've been as a parent and teacher, and so my student that back then when they didn't really know what was on the spectrum, I would say you can stand up. You don't just have to sit, because I used to think I was a student, right? And I was one of those students who were kind of smart, finish my homework quick, and now I'm acting up. So that was a different act up for me. But I realized as an educator what to do with that kind of student, or what to do with this student. First of all, I'm going to put you in a group so you can talk. Who want to sit next to people and not talk, right? So no, let's get in the group. And you, when you first come in, I will play the music. I will have my candles spraying. Like, this is why my students will always, all of my students, no matter what level they were on, will always show growth. Because I will say, I'm going to use what you have and meet you where you are so you can get where you at. And guess what? We're going to have some fun in this classroom. So when they come in, you got 10 minutes to talk about whatever, and you already see what you got to do. So by the time the second month in my classroom, no matter what age, I didn't have to do nothing but facilitate, walk around. So I like to work smarter and not harder. So my student that needs to walk around, stand up. You don't have to sit in your chair. If you need to stand up and bend over in your chair with one knee and right, do that. What makes you comfortable so that you can be proper in learning? Guess what? I'm giving peppermints too. Why can't I'm hungry in here too? I've been in here for 3 hours and I haven't eaten. I'm going to have a snack basket. Like, make it make sense in education where we're doing things like that still today.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question for you, Dr. Phoebe. So,
okay.
I firmly believe that teachers need to meet the students where they are, and that everyone shouldn't be judged the same way, because we all have different experiences and
Same in the
learning.
recruitment game. Same in the recruitment game. Seriously.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yes.
So
But
is
we
it
don't do it anyway.
right? Is it beneficial, or is it beneficial to have everyone lumped together so that we all learn about each other? Or
Okay.
is it more of a problem that we should have? Like me, I couldn't do math to save my life, right? Like, period. And it's because I would start daydreaming in the middle of it. I got bored. So I needed somebody that would stimulate me in order to get me excited about what I was doing. If you're in a classroom and a kid's eyes are glazed over because they're daydreaming about like lunch or whatever, the teacher should notice that. A child should not go through a semester without their parents knowing that they haven't turned in their homework, because they don't understand and they don't know how to speak up and say, I don't understand.
Okay.
So what I vacillate between, first of all, I don't think I would probably get rid of the I don't do they still do the small buses?
They do transportation now. It's not about your in Chicago. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening in different states or cities, but in Chicago, you can be bused because of distance, or it doesn't necessarily have anything to do with an ability.
Okay. All right. So I think the more that we know, the more that we talk to each other, the more that we understand each other at an early age, the less bullying that would occur and the more support that person would have.
So what I used to do in my classroom, I'm sorry guys, I'm plugging in. I don't want to die while we're talking. Thought I hadn't. In my classroom, I used to do this thing what we call heterogeneous grouping. And that was people with different levels of learning and skills in groups. And I would change that group every other week, once a month, depending. So by the time the end of the year, once again, my numbers didn't lie on testing. All of my students always saw growth. I ended up in some magazine because of it, a educational magazine, because of the things that my students accomplished. But so, for example, give you a small example. For example, groups of 4, one will know how to art, one is excellent at speaking, one is kind of shy, so they're a great note taker, and the other may have the higher academic standards. So just think in that group what's happening, right? And now before you know it, right, I will switch. So on this particular content, math, this is your role. The next one, this is your role. The next one, so by the time they were done with me, the shower will be the one presenting.
Right,
You
because
you
they're
get
all
what I mean?
learning from each
Because
other
they're
and they're
learning from
supporting
each
each
other.
other.
They're supporting each other. They're having fun with each other. They want to win my prizes because I spent a lot of money. It's just that's how you do it. Like and in today's society with work and all of that is this top down thing. No, that's not how that works.
Bottom up.
I not even per se that way. It's utilize the people you have on your team for what they're great at. Put them in a group with somebody that's different. Diversity is what matters.
Absolutely.
And watch what happens. Watch what come out of that group.
I'm down with that.
This is no distance to any of our listeners or anything. You notice, right? We're still in America, still doing this same white male leader. And it's the same thing is happening over and over and over. We're not changing it up. We're not doing anything really diverse. It's the same thing for centuries. Come on, we're not going to learn. We're never going to learn. We're never going to really change it up. We're just going to talk about it. So I used to do that in my classroom, even when I would teach the bridge program GED. I would teach people from all over the globe, Congo, US, Mexico, and sometimes with very little English language. By the time they left me, they were speaking English, writing in English. I've learned the way they did math, people from Poland, like, oh, imagine that. So I would say on the first day, this is our country, because we were all from different countries. We help each other in this country when you come here. No one is better than the other. And before you know it, everybody be bringing potluck. We be eating and learning. You know, you gonna get to me. You feed me. You feed me. We good. So, so come on
Jackie
now.
said, "Preach." Can you answer this question?
Yeah. Whoa. This would be. This is a curveball, but the thing I will say. Signs parents often miss.
I mean, I guess.
Yeah.
Let me go first, and then you can say what you think. Okay.
Yeah,
So I'm gonna tell you what I missed.
Yeah.
What I missed. So first, I was an educator before I became a parent, and so I started off like that. But because my son started reading at a very young age, because I homeschooled him from the womb, like reading books to my stomach, waking him up like he's going to school every day, even as a baby. Eat, sing ABC, and let him see the ABCs like that. I started. So at age 2, I missed, like I would call his name and he wouldn't really pay attention. And then I would just go, hey, but I missed that. And it took somebody else to say, do you know why he's not paying attention to you when you're calling his name, if he's not looking at me? And I'm like, why? They was like, I believe that he may have autism. You should get it checked out. So as a parent, and I didn't understand why as a parent that hurted me. I'm like, what you mean? I was saying stuff like, there's nothing wrong with my baby. And then I had to realize, wait, even if he had autism, like that don't mean something wrong, right? So I missed those early warning signs that my son was on the spectrum. I missed like Like he would repeat. I didn't know because I wasn't aware. So that's why, even if you don't have, I'm thinking today, everyone in the world has someone that they know that lives on the spectrum, right? That lives with autism. So at this point, we should be a little bit better. But the way he would line things up, I missed that cue. I didn't understand what that meant. I just thought he's a kid. Kids play like that, but it's a slight difference, right? So I took a video of me taking his stuff and placing it in a different spot, and he would take it and put it right back. Like it had to be that way, whether I was playing with him or not. So it's just all about awareness. I did, as a parent, miss some of the cues. However, once I learned and said I cannot be in denial, let me put my educated hat on with mommy hat and work that. Nasir got those early interventions. So if you don't get the early interventions, and I'm sorry, Gregory, that you had to go through what you went through, it wasn't right. It wasn't right. And I believe you're wonderful now and you thrive, but I believe I can just understand where you feel. Imagine what I would be if they did X, Y, Z, because I hear that in your voice. But yeah.
Yeah, for me, I say I might go very heavy on the stigma. This will be the first and only time. I will say if they're antisocial, I will say, don't have that much friends in their early childhood, which personally I did not. I had to basically manufacture some type of friends that I had in school and stuff. That's basically some of the signs that is virtually missable. If they are this is probably, people will say, why is this a negative thing that people miss and stuff, is if they are very passionate in one subject, those are signs of that nature. But now, since we're on this platform, that's basically a benefit for you to stand out for your unique value proposition type of thing. But those are the, I will say, some of the stuff that parents really basically miss. And the last one has some famous technicals of it, because people like Albert Einstein and Isaac Albert Einstein historically could be on the quote unquote spectrum du jour per se. So yeah, so it's like that, as well as the person who owns the other platform, which is Black and White, and I will not name, but he's also on the spectrum as well too. So it's and we all know that he was fascinated in regards to certain type of department which starts with the letter D and ends with the letter E, and he was
Wait, D in the letter E. You mean D in the letter I?
No, D and the letter E.
You might want to tell us.
Yeah. I think you have it backwards there, my friend.
No.
Why he looked that up to tell everybody?
It's in a private chat amongst of us. So okay. I think I kind of it begins with letter D and the letter G.
Okay. I get it now. Okay.
Now you got it.
Yeah. I know who you were talking about, but I didn't know what that meant. Okay.
Yeah. So that's basically the two major common examples of it, basically. So yeah. So in regards to that nature,
okay. Thank you for being correct on here, because we don't want to offend anyone, and I appreciate you for that.
I know.
I wanted to talk to you about that second one, which was that being particularly interested and become basically an expert at a young age on a particular subject, I did miss that. Like and that was my son with animals, any species, insect. I've learned so much. I've learned, just put it that way. I've learned so much from him. He's wonderful, and if he does math, he doesn't love, but if you put it in context of animals, got it. So that answers your question as well, Bill, when you were talking about like I didn't like math, and how did you get a student to blah blah blah? That's what you do. You say, I see what you're an expert in, and guess what? You cross content. There's like you can do math and science, you can do art and science, or art with math. All of those things can be aligned in some way, right? And that could be in the classroom or in the home or in the world, at work.
Yeah.
And the part, right? We talk about this with the HR and this workday system and all of that. Everyone, like I said, even in HR, has someone they know that's on the spectrum. So I always say, even as a teacher and a mother, you treat people like they're your own. If you treat people like they're your own, we'll be better.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I love that Jackie and I are basically could read each other like book, because she basically put a comment, says, I was following you, Gregory, and I love that you didn't want to give him credit by naming it. I says, yep, that's my Jackie. Basically, that's what happens when you're on her show 7 or unofficially 8 times in 1 year. So
can you do me a favor, Gregory? Yeah. Can you talk to Dr. Phoebe and ask her what her problem is?
I'm telling you, because I'm trying every time I go to the chat, and it just keeps crossing me out. But I'm here, guys. Just know I'm here for.
Don't go to the chat.
I'm here for us. So thank you, guys.
Yeah. First, I want to ask everybody how they're doing out there. I usually gauge when I'm going to stop a show when I start seeing the numbers decline, but they're actually going up. Can you guys see the numbers out there?
Okay. Yeah, for example, I'm just going through the chat on my tablet here, and there was a question by Olivia on YouTube. Jared, misconceptions. What misconceptions about autism that bother you most? That's from Daniel. I could basically sum it up in one word: stigma, assumptions. Those are basically that really grinds my basically gears. That people usually, I will say, do misconception me when about when talking about the spectrum in that grave detail. Just looking for the Oliver. Damn it! I saw it, and let me just see. Oh yeah, Olivia. Yeah, that one. Thank you, William. I will say this. This is a challenge I will basically put on every single platform du jour.
Okay.
In order for this is a 2-part challenge. If you're an HR executive, sorry to be picking on people like Felipe and stuff, follow at least 20 people and connect with 10 people who are neurodiverse on a LinkedIn platform to gain a gauge in regards to their real life struggles and what they're putting out on the platform in terms of related content. That's one portion. Another one is, I would say, go to your local bookstore, and there is 2 books that I basically recommend. One is The Canary Code by Dr. that is a very good book that covers autism and everything neurodiverse. And there is another book by Pasha. I cannot recall the title off the top of my dome here, but that is another good book. That is, it's a black cover. It's a black cover, black in color, black cover type of a book. And those are two books that I would basically recommend.
And here's a third one.
That's okay. That's one. That's okay. And as well too, this is a third portion, and this is something that I would love that it is going on in HR, since that people who are on the spectrum, which encompass neurodiversity and stuff, that the next generation is going to be more neurodiverse than ever before. For example, a good person that everybody should be following in terms of all things autism and stuff is in the group who just basically had a massive travel day with her service dog. Her name is Josette. That's a prime example of a person that everybody should be following in regards to all things people on the spectrum and stuff. And she's from way deep in the down south in the heart of Texas, basically.
El Paso,
and
right?
Yeah, El Paso, yeah, something like that nature. One of the border cities in Texas, either El Paso or another one. She'll probably correct me, and she'll probably correct my location in the chat.
Can I ask
per
you
se.
a question real quick?
Yeah,
You just said we should all reach out to someone on LinkedIn
as well.
But how would I know that?
Oh, good question. I will say basically I will say this. That would be a good thing to put in. I see a lot of people disclose that they are neurodiverse and they're on the spectrum in the headline of the profile.
And in addition to that, you can search it. You can say, put in autism in your search engine, and you'll see.
No, but on LinkedIn.
Yeah, even on LinkedIn, you can put in the search engine keyword, a person name. Yeah, you can do stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Even if you Google people on LinkedIn /autism, stuff like that, neurodiverse, all of that, people's stuff will pop up. So it's easy with today's technology to find your people. Like I usually have a mom's group that I talk with and to get supports.
I think I'm in that on Facebook.
Yeah, it's so many ways to be able to support each other today, right? And no matter what we have going on, right?
Yeah.
So
and my third one is, and this will be my dream type of a situation.
Okay.
That in order to get HR certification, such as HRCI, CPHR, those types of HR certifications, mandatory neurodiversity awareness training within that certification. 53% of Gen Zs is going to be neurodiverse. In the words of Jade Cargill's WWE entrance song, "The storm is coming."
Come on.
Why do you say that though? Where is that coming from? Why is it increasing?
The reason why it is increasing by generations is that I don't want to. Dr. Phoebe might know the answer, but my recollection will be is that there is more diagnoses in the early school system, which was not in my detail, because I was in the school system in almost all of 1980, all of just all of 1980s, all of it in the 1990s, and graduated from the public school system of June of 2000. And there was little to no related type of testing for people in regards of the diagnoses.
Yeah.
So it is
So
basically
you're saying something different
it's
though, because
yeah.
No.
what you're saying is not that there's more people that are going to be neurodivergent. We're going to become more aware of the people that are actually neurodivergent.
Correct, because
Correct.
there's more testing in the school system, as well as there is as well as that's
I love her.
basically and that basically is transferring to if a person is going to a college or university. And this is something that I did not know, that
Yeah.
there is student services supports for people with disabilities. And if I knew about that, I probably would have had a
Better
business
experience.
administration degree from
Oh.
Red River College, because I would probably took advantage of that and
Mm.
basically decreased my college course load for me to handle it, and basically graduated college probably 5, 6, 7 in a 7-year type of stretch, rather than the traditional 3 to
4.
4 year
Yeah.
stretch, basically. Yeah,
I,
which
I was
I
going to
think
say
that,
that.
yeah, yeah.
I was going to say that about Gregory. The number's going to increase because more people are going to just face it. More people are going to have babies that may be on the spectrum, and like he said, because of awareness, we're learning. Oh, let me make sure my child may need to be tested, or the school, because of awareness, are learning, okay, this is a student that may be on the spectrum, let me spearhead it so that they can get with their services that they need. So that's why the numbers are growing over time and generationally. And with that being said, and we know about awareness, educators, moms, teachers, neighbors, whoever, HR, please, please, please be aware. Please be kind, and please let's work together. Okay, let's work together. We need each other. And
So
go ahead.
so we're at 5:30.
Oh, wow,
Huh?
wow! It's just time. I've been
No,
having
no,
a
no, no,
great
no, no, no.
conversation.
It is, and I don't want to stop. I do know that there's another show that starts at 6,
Okay.
and I want to give everybody a chance to kind of catch their breath. I'm going to continue, but let's give it 15 more minutes. Is that good with you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know. We know
Hold
whose
on,
show
Gregory.
we know whose show it is. Yeah.
Yeah, we do. Narcisse Taplin was my first guest when I went. So right here, Narcisse.
Hi.
So I just love her, and she needs to be back on. It's been 1 year. And Christy gave a bunch of really great information. So she said that the school system needs to ask a child why. She also was talking about the fact that she had a ton of really great.
Yeah, she basically
statements.
the school system needs to ask why the child is acting out. She basically replied, "I hate bullies," which basically prompted my son has ADHD. Found him an awesome private school.
There you go.
Some in my family, yeah. So and that bullet and Christy, Lisa Flowers says to Christy, bullies was raised by bullies, and Jackie basically replied to something, says, that makes my heart sad, basically. So, oh yeah, she says someone in my family called my son quote unquote slow because of his school, and that basically caused Jackie to be uberly sad, which I say that should not be happening. It's not it. today it
shouldn't.
is this is not 1996, it's 2026 basically. So
Yes.
yeah.
And then you said something too as far as mandatory training. That's why I created a 9-course SEL series, social emotional learning for teachers, because I think it should be mandatory that we ourselves as adults understand how we can manage our social emotional skills, right? How we can improve in order to teach our youth, right? Because if we don't have those skills and we have stuff in our book bag coming in, and you have 24 plus students coming in with their book bag full, imagine what you're dealing with in that environment, right? So, how, as adult educators, whoever's in the room to guide young minds, they should have some mandatory SEL, right? And a lot of people don't believe in counseling or telling their business, but it works. I want, and
Absolutely.
I wouldn't tell anybody to do anything I haven't done myself, right? And
Absolutely.
so this is why with having my son and learning about him, and then learning how broad the spectrum is, then meeting new parents and saying, oh my gosh, that's why I came up with the social emotional SEL series called Take a Selfie, right? Take a Selfie.
Mhm.
SEL, right? That's how I spelled the SEL-FEE. Because when you begin to learn the things about you gonna have some stuff in common with someone that's on the spectrum. A lot of things,
Absolutely.
and then you can have a better understanding, right?
But I believe in this too. If we share our stories, just period,
Mm-hmm.
our ups and our downs, and stop sharing just the highlight reels, we're going to discover that all of us have the same ups and downs. It's not about race, it's not about money, it's not about any of it. It's about emotional connections. It's about life. It's about understanding how to connect with people at their level and loving people for who they are, not for who you want them to be.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. So and then say let's and then biblical weapons. Oh, nice. Check that website out. And
I'm going to actually put this over on LinkedIn too,
yeah.
because after YouTube closes out for some reason, all the comments close out after a
Okay.
live, and then you only see the data. What stays is anything on the replay.
Mm-hmm.
So, because we have 418
Yeah.
people here, and we were
Hmm.
at 200, and then it just when because I expected it to like do like a nosedive, because usually about the
Yeah.
hour mark it starts a
Yeah.
nosedive.
I'm surprised not more. We're going to get more attention and awareness here. And just because we celebrate autism awareness in April, celebrate it every day. And I want you to, I'm going to challenge everyone, right? You're going to be in a grocery store, you're going to be somewhere, and you're going to pay attention, right? Pay attention to a little stem or look in someone's face and say hi, and you'll identify. I want to say, first, if you're first doing this, you'll identify 6 out of 10 times if this person is on the spectrum, and you talk to them for 2 to 3 minutes and learn something new. I challenge you
Absolutely.
guys to do that
Yeah.
this week.
I will basically answer this question from Ron Gorskin.
Before you do that, can I say this real quick?
Yeah, sure.
I want to apologize to Kenneth Dunner. Right before we went on live, I kind of wasn't really excited. And it wasn't about Kenneth, so I apologize, Kenneth.
That's okay.
I love you, man. All right, let's go.
In terms of the question by Rob, how can society be more inclusive? I will say challenge your that question was at 4:24 p.m. Eastern time for people on the timeline du jour on YouTube. Basically challenge your assumptions, challenge your internal and external biases, especially in in recruiting and selection. I will say I will say I will use another sports analogy. Sorry, Jackie. I promise this will be the last one. It, as a lot of people know, in the sport of golf, you have multiple different golf clubs in your bag. A recruiter should be having multiple type of streams in terms of how they recruit in their bag. Not the straight only, not the only tried and trusted true. Load up your application on an ATS platform. Accept a resume by email. Accept a resume in person at a career fair. Not to basically drive a person to a corresponding de jure type of website, because it could be a barrier in regards to social economic type of barriers in regards to gain access to different types of electronics. Have more of a more hiring inclusive type of hiring practices, because as a nutshell, as a whole, in here in Canada, there is a 20 percentage point difference in terms of the employment participation of a person who has only one disability compared to a person who has no disability at all. That's a large
It is.
employment. That's a large gap in regards to in terms of that nature. That's why I said in my third thing that I always dream about is HR professionals need to have neurodiversity type of training, which includes how to professionally and ethically recruit a person who is neurodiverse, who's neurodiverse, because
I will
some of the
also say, I'm sorry.
some of the stuff that might be a barrier, that could be a barrier in regards to getting us in front of an interview, can be on your own doing.
Exactly.
You need to, I will say, there's an old saying, put a little water in your wine, and 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 do a self-evaluation and internal audit of all your different policies and procedures and practices and stuff. And that's how you as a company, and I will basically combine that with Paula Jenkins' question. That's how you celebrate the small wins for your organization,
Right.
and people like me will basically have more of a trust factor in you. So yeah.
And here's the next, I was taking it even a step further, even the leaders and owners and CEOs of those organizations, you should expect that to be a part of your strategic plan, that your HR, who's ever in charge of your HR department, is making sure that they're using diverse platforms and hiring diverse people so that your organization can win even bigger. Because I'm telling you, the more diverse your team is, and research shows this, you can go look it up for yourself. I'm not going to do the homework for you. That the more diverse your team is, the better results you get.
I agree with that. I 100% agree with that. I just feel like we're going backwards, my opinion. And we don't want to get into politics today, but we will have a huge conversation about application tracking systems, PEOs. Everyone out there, remember that I have a paid partnership with ADP. So if you need a PEO, if you need better benefits, contact me, and I get a lifetime residual from that.
Amen.
So join through me. So yes. I want to thank everybody for showing up today.
Awesome.
And for being real and being a part of this. This conversation just rolled with it. And I know I have great guests when I drop myself off and the conversation just keeps going. And you guys are phenomenal. And you approach it from two different ways. Phoebe, the education part of it, the way that you teach, the way that you include all of your students, no matter where they're from, is important. Are you gonna have your son come on? Hey,
Hey,
Oh,
hey, how
hey,
are you?
Great.
so what are we talking about?
Autism,
Autism what?
awareness.
Yeah. And
hey.
then he'll drop off.
He's adorable.
He is. What a
Did you go see
wonderful
Mhm.
the
kid.
Did you go see the Michael Jackson movie?
Not yet.
Is this
Are
It's
you?
not out. It's not out yet.
It is out.
It
I
is.
yeah, it's horrible.
It's out here in the
Yeah,
States.
it's horrible. But
I gotta check to see if my movie theater Silver City Save Hotel is slacking a bit basically, but I haven't. I thought it was not out basically yet. So yeah.
No,
no,
it came
it's
out
out.
Friday, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. I got a $5 ticket from T-Mobile.
Well, I'm not gonna talk about Michael Jackson.
I love him. Oh, you don't like him? Okay,
I know I like Michael Jackson. I'm just not gonna talk about it.
okay, okay. All right, there we
Mhm.
go. Everyone has their boundaries, and we're gonna leave it alone.
Mhm.
I would love to have you guys back again. Gregory, we started with you at the beginning of the April 1st. We're closing out the last Sunday in April. This has been such a joy.
Yes.
And one of the things that I've learned throughout this entire thing is to connect with people and to listen.
That's what's missing in HR. People are not connecting with people. People are basically automated machines, and that's where it's crumbling like crazy. And I basically put in a comment on Laura Sherman's show last Friday. Automation is killing syllabization basically. So somebody asked the question: is it better to do relations, form relationships, or automate like through AI? It says always through personal relationships, because it's going to be because
It's a game
your
changer.
name and your name personally, and your professional name and your professional business depends on it basically. So yeah, I will say you need to establish personal relationships, or else that's how society crumbles basically. So yeah.
100%.
I agree with you. I mean,
Final words.
we got to be kind to one another. We got to be open to one another, and we got to let love conquer all. Most of all, right?
Can you guys tell I painted my beard, but it's darker on one side and higher?
No, I couldn't
than on
even
the
tell
other?
till you pointed that out.
No.
I was actually about to go get the brush while you guys were talking and just redo it because it's been bothering me the whole time.
No.
But I was like running late. With that said, don't forget everyone to like, subscribe, and support my channel.
Yes, please.
Subscribe to Phoebe.
One Phoebe Mac One, spontaneous hosted by Phoebe Mac, and please go to www.canwillhelpfoundation.org and learn about what I'm doing to help the community.
Absolutely. Gregory, how can we
And
get in contact with you?
well,
Are you looking for a job right now, by the way?
Yes, I
And
am.
what do you want to do?
HR coordinating / generalist type of work. Basically in if you know any type of Canadian context. If I will be, if the marriage is right, I will accept stuff through the United States, because I could. It all depends on certain type of paperwork and legalese. I will accept stuff through United States, but if you know any type of Canadian contact, I'm looking for progressive, transformative type of HR type of related type of work. I am basically game on that. And yeah, so it's in regards to that nature. And you could find find me on LinkedIn. I am searchable because I know I'm searchable because on average I get 200 searches a week on my name,
Nice.
basically. So if you
You're
can't
doing
find
better
me,
than me.
if you can't find me, I will basically find you and basically lay the breadcrumbs like Hansel and Gretel or that famous nursery rhyme fairy tale type of thing. So yeah.
They're all creepy.
Whoever decides to hire you, they're going to be really lucky, and they're going to know.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's been a pleasure, Greg, being in your orbit. Phoebe, it's really great to have reconnected with you after
Yes.
what, 30 years?
It's
40, maybe. Well, I'm dating myself, but it's been a while.
been a while, yes.
And we've been in. I shared with you Greg's video that he did for Autism Awareness Day, didn't I?
Yes.
Yeah. So, Greg, I'm always putting you out there.
Mhm.
Everybody out there, 10 p.m. tonight. It is Williams Wind Down, and it's where we just come together.
I will be double bailing because my first NBA team might be doing some Rocket elimination tonight. So yeah,
Okay.
Lakers, Houston.
Okay.
LeBron might be
LeBron Jr.
LeBron James might be kicking his nemesis Kevin Durant out of the playoffs tonight. So yeah. So
Okay.
yeah.
So tonight, 10 p.m. That's where we
Yeah.
reset. And really, I want to bring this to everyone's attention. The reason why I'm doing that is because I'm living life 1 minute at a time, and so every night I go into not a meditation state, but a release state. So Sundays, Mondays, and Wednesdays, I do that with you guys. I think of things that went right in my day. I release what didn't go well.
Amen.
And I go to bed with the intention of a mindful, restful soul, waking up with the intent that tomorrow is going to be a better day. And today has already been phenomenal. So
Amen.
I am leaving right now, and the closing is a song I originally wrote in January called Brilliance of the Mind. I love everybody out there, and I hope to see you tonight if you're not tired of listening to me. Bye-bye. You guys gonna say it for a
Toodles.
second?
This is you, be you. Welcome to you, be you. This is you, be you. Come closer. Listen. 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 Lights low, heart open, step in. This is not a lecture, this is motion. Some minds move fast like sparks in the dark. Some minds read the room like ocean. If you ever felt out of place, tonight we build you a place. No labels on your spirit, just truth in your face. Hold up, hear that rhythm shift. Is a different kind of gift. If you listen, you'll catch it. If you rush, you'll miss. Welcome to the brilliance. Feel it in the floor. Welcome to the future when we boom, not close the door. Carries a craft, not a burden. It is love with a pulse and a plan. Sometimes you see it early, sometimes it shows when it can. Either way, support is a key. It unlocks new ways to speak. And the smallest wins turn massive when the room is safe to be. No fixing, no forcing, just presence with pride. The whole world changes when we widen the side from one right way. Too many ways through, that is how we go, that is what we do. Welcome to the brilliance, feel it in the flow. Welcome to the future when we do not close the door. Different is divine here. Say it like the truth. This is you, yeah. Quiet. Hear the footsteps, hear the snap, hear the mind run a different lap. That ingenious, focus, pure, honesty, strong, heart secure. Do not dark over what you do not know. Make space, let the person show. Living clean, let love stay true. This is you be you. This is you be you. Welcome to you be you. Come closer, come closer, come closer. You, 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 this is you be you. Welcome to you be you. Brilliance of the mind, brilliance of the mind. Feel it in the floor, feel it in the floor. Welcome to the future, welcome to the future. When we do not close the door, when we do not close the door. Different is divine, different is divine. Sing it like the truth, sing it like the truth. You be you, you be you, you be you, you be you. Welcome to the brilliance, welcome to the brilliance. Snap, 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 snap. Move, breathe, move, breathe. Move, breathe, move, breathe. Hey, say you, crowd says you. Say B, say B, crowd says B. Say you, crowd says you. Make room, let the whole world move. Different is the vibe, let it shine right through. If you listen, you learn. If you rush, you lose. We do not close doors, we improve the rules. Step, 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 feel that floor talk. Mind it up, watch that brilliance wall. No shame here, no fear here, no box for you. Whole room rising when you show up true. Say you, crowd says you. Crowd says you. Say me, crowd says me. Crowd says me. Say you. Welcome to the brilliance, feel it in the floor. Welcome to the future when we do not drop the door. Different is divine, say it like the truth. This is you, be you. Welcome to the future. Welcome to the future. Brilliance of the mind. Brilliance of the mind. You be you. You be you. You be you. You be you. This is you. This is who you